Anytime you go through loss and when you're grieving, you need time to process your emotions, you need time to process, accept the loss. And most of the time, you will find that the emotions will go and come back, go and come back. So we always say you always prepare for emotions to return. And this most of the time happens within the first 6 months of loss, and sometimes 1 year of loss. But as we have continued to say that loss and grief is timeless, as we've continued to say, grief is timeless. So the moment you lose someone and you start grieving, you might overcome it with time, you might overcome it way after so many years. So you have to always prepare for the emotions to go, the emotions to come back, and it is normal to have a tough time, especially the first few months, the first 1 year, the first 2 or 3 years, because you just have to learn, adjust, and get to know how to live without your loved one, because it's not easy. It's not easy. Loss is like when you move. You are living somewhere and now you have to move from where you are living and you go to a new place. So you adjust to get to know the new place, you adjust to get to know how to start living in the new place, you adjust how to get new friends, you adjust how to get into maybe if it was a business, to start getting customers, creating partnerships, and etc. So the things that will help you feel closer to your loved one that you lost, there are so many, quite a number of them. So there are very many ways for you to remember your loved ones, and there are things that you have to do for you to feel close with them, but this one varies from person to person. For me, I would suggest, so this is Diana's suggestion, you can for example, you can write them letters. You can just decide, leo nataka kuandikia mama yangu barua. No matter what, I am going to write a letter to her. Number 2, you can decide that you're going to celebrate, maybe if it is her birthday, you honor someone else. It is so difficult for you to honor someone else in the place of your mother, but maybe this could have become your godmother. Maybe in the place of your father, there is somebody who became your godfather. In the place of your child, maybe you adopted a child. So you can decide to honor and celebrate their important days through someone else. Remember, it depends with your faith. And as I've kept on saying, personally, there are things that are limited because of my faith. There are things like jewelry. Definitely, you don't want to give them out. There are things like t-shirts. There are those things that maybe you would find. Like for me, there are few things here and there that I chose to keep from my mom. Just not just to be a reminder of her, but to be a reminder of good times. Remember, for me as a Christian, I know the Bible says there is no relationship between the dead and the living. But this is a person who brought me into this world. So for me, it's a reminder and a memory of good times. It's not a reminder of my mother or how she looked like when she wore that t-shirt, or when she wore the jewelry, or when she did this and that. So for me, I believe that there are those things that you have to keep doing. There are those things that give you a lot of memories, beautiful memories. In that case, you must maintain beautiful memories. So it is important for you to get to know how to deal with the loss. And I know that the loss and grief of a parent is so personal. The loss and grief of your child is so personal. You know, there are those attachments, and I've kept on repeating here, and I know I'll keep repeating. I've come to realize that every loss is unique. Every loss is unique in its own way. Losing my mother is something cannot be compared to losing my husband. I have come to realize it's so personal. Parents have got a place that they are engraved in our hearts. Mothers go through a lot for them to see you grow up to the person you are. Mothers cheer you. I'm not saying that my dad doesn't do that. He cheers me, he does everything. But I've also come to realize every parent is just so unique in their own ways and so good, and who knows. One thing also I've come to learn, as you continue going through this process, you have to get to know the steps that you're going to undertake, so that you can be understood by other people, especially about your emotions, and how do you get help that can help you to process your emotions and your pain and make it a little bit easy. One thing I've learned with this kind of pain, it's a pain that no one can help you to make it easy, but you can define some ways or a route for you to just navigate through that path, pole 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 pole. You know, one thing about the journey about grief, you have no one, there is no one to light a torch and lead you on the way. It's just between you and God. You have to navigate through this path in the right way, with the right people. And when you feel like you don't want company, it's okay, just be. Sometimes I feel like isolating, and I isolate for real. Sometimes I feel like crying, and I cry, I let it out. Sometimes I feel like talking about my mother, and talking about my mother, and also talking about any other loved one that I have lost. It's okay for me. That's my way of processing the losses that I have endured. Let me tell you, it's not easy, but with time and giving God an opportunity to lead you. For me, I have learned to let God lead my journey.